Welcome to the Mind of Business Success podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Cramer. Our guest today is Michaela Merk. We are going to talk about relationship intelligence. Welcome to the show, Michaela.
Thank you very much, and welcome to all of you as well that are listening today.
So let's start by talking about what you do, because you have a very, very in-depth knowledge, and I really want to get into that. So why don't we start by just sharing with the listeners a little bit about who you are and what your area of expertise is.
Of course. So your podcast is about the mindset to business success. And to me, the power of relationship intelligence is one of the key factors in a complex business world as we are in today. That is the key factors of success to business leaders in today's world. And relationship intelligence is at the heart of what I've been doing during the past 15 to 20 years. I've been researching about relationship intelligence in business for 15 years now. That's what I'm speaking about as well as a global speaker. That's what I train people, leaders, companies about. Coach individual leaders as well. And that's what I'm writing about as well. So I published a couple of books on relationship intelligence and also the ability to transform teams successfully into brand ambassadors.
Let's talk a little bit about what relationship intelligence means, because it's not as intuitive as we might think. So can you go into that a little bit?
Sure. It's true that we know much more about emotional intelligence. We know less about relationship intelligence. Relationship intelligence are all the capabilities that people incorporate in order to strengthen relationships with their environment, with other people around them, be it in a business environment or be it personally. And this can be, when we just look on a business perspective, these can be your teams, relationships among business leaders, senior managers, the CEO and their employees. This can be sales teams with their clients. These can be business relationships with business partners, or also any kind of agencies that contribute to the success of a company. So basically, it's everybody that is in the ecosystem of your company that will be much more attached to the company, feels much more part of this big family as soon as relationship intelligence becomes a key factor of the corporate identity, of the corporate culture. That is, of course, lived first by the business leader, by the whole leadership team, by the executive team, and those that are really managing, let's say, the ship that is successfully then driving the whole company into its future.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about why that's so important. I know you and I have personally had a conversation about the necessity for changing some of the old mindsets. There's obviously value in embracing this, but I want to talk a little bit about that on a very, very practical level so people get it, and they can see why this is really, truly so important.
Yes. Thank you for asking this question, because I think it's fundamental to understand, especially the outcome of companies that place relationship intelligence at the heart of their business. What I've observed is that companies and business leaders that master relationship intelligence, they are a lot more human, meaning they appear a lot more sympathetic and become much more attractive. In today's business environment, where we are lacking talents, where we are also struggling so hard to attract people and keep people and the good people in our companies, it's mission critical. And I'm talking as well about Generation Z, about millennials, who are going to be the future workforce in most companies tomorrow. They want to be part of a family with strong values, with human charismatic leaders that are not only placing everything on their savoir-faire, which is in French because I'm based here in Paris, and savoir-faire means all you know about your business expertise, but it's a lot about how you behave, how you are as a business leader, as a person. So the whole human factors, they become mission critical. And this is at the opposite to what, when I started my career 20 years ago, was supposed to be good leadership, what we call vertical leadership. Vertical leadership was business leaders were considered as powerful when they were able to be very much at ease in taking harsh decisions, in being quite rough, in being sharp, in incorporating a lot of authority, in showing their power, in showing their influence, in showing their expertise, in somehow showing their dominance as well. But this kind of leadership in a complex world as it is today doesn't work anymore. So that's why the whole human part, the whole relationship part is now becoming a lot more important. And that's why I call that the relationship leadership, compared and opposed to the vertical leadership as it used to be in the past. And there's still quite a lot of companies out there today that work with vertical leadership. But what I see is that this is no longer working, especially since companies that place relationship intelligence in leadership at the heart of their company culture are much more performant today.
Do you find that some people with that sort of old school thinking are resistant to adopting this new way of thinking?
From what I see is when somebody, and I'm talking more about the older generation that were really, that grew in this vertical leadership system, it's very hard to change that, because this was a conviction. It was a way of living. It was a way of building the companies. And it was, as the word says, it was a really top-down leadership with a huge power difference between those who were guiding and those who were executing the operational business. And today, what becomes extremely important is to keep people, the good people, loyal to your company. And whenever you are going against human values, for instance, if you are going against people values, if you're going against human values and what is important to people, the young generation today, they are willing to quit. They say, as soon as I'm no longer in line with my values and the values that the company I'm working for is offering, I go, because I don't feel happy anymore. So happiness in the business environment is the key for keeping your people loyal and for keeping them performant. Because then they say, okay, that's what I'm getting. I feel good. And when you feel good in what you're doing, you want to give more. And even when the business environment, like today with the COVID time and everything that it's offering to us, the whole complexity, when the business situation is getting difficult, when you have to work at distance, people who have been loyal to your company and are really tied up to the company through its relationships, they wouldn't quit because they love the company culture, and also their leaders so much that they feel, I need to give more. I need to help the company in this situation in order to get through this crisis, in order to be more successful in the future and help build the future strategy even beyond the whole COVID crisis.
Someone is listening and they're thinking, okay, theoretically, this makes sense to me, but how? How do you create that type of dynamic? And many of the people that are listening to this, I are going to have smaller businesses with smaller teams.
Yeah.
So, they really are in a more intimate type of relationship with their employees. I'd love for you to share your thoughts on maybe just even some very practical, pragmatic steps that someone can take to just begin to create this better quality relationship within their organization.
Yeah. So in order to get to that point of seeing the importance of relationship intelligence in business, I conducted lots of interviews, actually hundreds of interviews with business leaders, not only in France, where I'm based, but in the US, in Asia, in the Middle East, in order to see if the way that relationship intelligence is conducted and built is the same across cultures or not. And what I thought was really interesting to see is that it's actually something so fundamental that the qualities that business leaders need to work on in relationship intelligence is universal. So to be very clear on what I mean, I would like to share the 5 key competencies that are the essence of my findings and the essence and outcome of all the interviews. This sounds actually very, very simple. It's not so simple, but I try to make it simple so that it's getting very clear. So the 5 key competences are: first, to be empathetic and to be able to project yourself in the mindset of the people that you are addressing yourself to, be it people you work with, be it people you guide, you're leading. So empathy is the very first thing. The second, and empathy is important because when a business environment is getting very complex, people have a lot of preoccupations, a lot of sorrows, a lot of requests they don't dare to express when they do not feel comfortable. So what you need to build first as a leader is this zone of comfort where people are not fearing that whatever they express, whatever question they bring up is wrong, they would not ask you to help. So that's why it's very important to give them the feeling, okay, my boss understands me as a person. The second quality in relationship intelligence is the ability to create trust. And trust has a very interesting time factor. Trust can, of course, require a lot of time to be built. But when we talk about leadership, trust becomes important when it's in the first 30 seconds. So for instance, when you're starting a meeting in business, be it a small business, a mid-sized business, a family business, or an international business, we have meetings all over the place. We have them virtual, we have them physical, we have them on the phone. But the first 30 seconds are decisive in showing, does the other person on the other side of the meeting room trust in what I'm going to do, to say or not? So building and working on the first impression, using your words, using especially also positive mindset and the way of maybe complimenting people, using their names when you're opening a meeting, asking them about how you are, smiling, creating any kind of relationship without talking about yourself. So that's very important. Don't talk about yourself. Project yourself towards the other person that is facing you, because this is what is going to bind you and create a very first level of trust in the very first 30 seconds. Still, when we're talking about trust, it's also interesting to create hope as a business leader. So to be able to project yourself into the very, very future and build together with your teams in a very positive mindset strategies which even when you have a very difficult business situation, sound, I still believe in my business. It's a very complex thing, and that's what I use a lot in trainings. We work on that a lot, but just I wanted to pop in this importance of working on hope. The third quality in relationship intelligence is the ability to transfer your passion, the passion of your business, the passion for your company, the passion for your products, the passion for your people. You need to love them and you need to show them that you love them. And to be very pragmatic, since Alicia, you asked me, give us some tips. You know, when you are a business leader, you are recruiting usually people to your company. And this starts in an interview with a new person that you want to pull on board. And let's say you have a great talent that is facing you. It's less important to check their skills. It's more important that you, as a leader, you are transmitting your passion for your business so that the other person says, oh, wow, I want to come. I want to be part of this fascinating company, and I want to work for this fascinating person. And many business leaders, they always fall into the trap of checking competencies. And while being tested all the time, you are losing actually your passion in a crucial moment to find right talents. Another aspect is the ability to build to create and enhance pride in people. And pride is related to the capability of companies to make their company values visible and really to work on them precisely, to define them, to also show everybody what are our values that you can identify with, and then to celebrate victories. So whenever you have great achievements, great numbers, don't only rush over, but take a breath, stop there and say, hey guys, what have you achieved there? This has been fantastic. I gave a leadership seminar just last week. And by the way, every week right now, I'm teaching and giving seminars on relationship intelligence right now to small businesses and bigger businesses and all kind of sectors. And I had an architect in my group, and this architect is getting quite successful now. And he said, we are winning so many deals right now that I'm not celebrating anymore. It's getting too much. And I told him, hey, you know what? Your people, they give so much energy to allow your company to win. Don't underestimate the importance of feeling their pride for every single deal that you're getting. So celebrate. I said, yes, you're right. And the last aspect is that business leaders should have the capability to inspire gratitude in their people. And when I say inspire, it's something mutual. So when you as a leader establish in your company culture the word thank you, and you say, thank you for this meeting. Thank you for this podcast, Alicia. Thank you for listening to me, right? So these are little things, but they make the difference. And of course, you can say thank you in different ways, but in the end, when you establish that, people who are working for you will also get the message, I'm allowed to say thank you. So it's something what I call the positive leadership and a mutual leadership of gratitude. And by the way, there are lots of statistics that show how good it is, how many positive things that evoke for your own well-being, of happiness, of good relationships, and of reducing your stress factor. As simple as that. So these are the 5 core competencies that I work on with business leaders of all kind in order to sharpen their relationship intelligence and make sure that all people that are surround them feel tightly related to them, to their cause, to their products, to their services as well, and become what I call brand ambassadors in every moment.
I love this. So good. So much value right there. These are practical skills that really we can all get it. Those are, it's the difference between the quality of any type of relationship, really, whether it is a positive, enriching relationship, or it is one of those depleting relationships. And a lot of people have historically had very negative associations with management and leadership. And it is for precisely, a lot of those very just fundamental reasons. They're not receiving what they need to on that emotional level to be invested. And so it becomes not only just a paycheck, but in some cases, really quite, it's drudgery. You don't want to put yourself through that experience. So really, really valuable. And I want to shift gears just a little bit because you are a business owner. And one of the things that I love to extract out of my guests is about your own personal mindset journey as a business owner.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to share with us maybe just one thing that you had to overcome with your own mindset in order to get to where you are today.
Great question. I could share lots of examples, but maybe there's one that I would like to share. And that's also at the heart of the TED Talk I just gave, by the way. It's related to trust. And I think we can learn so much from our failures and also from difficult situations that we face in our own career. That's where we are learning. That's where we are growing a lot. And I used to be general manager for Estee Lauder companies, so an American company for the German market. And this was in 2008. And I think everybody still remembers 2008. This was the big economic crisis when everything was dropping, and it arrived to us like a tsunami. And financially speaking, affected literally every company in the world. So I just took over general management for this company, for Estee Lauder companies. And instead of building my brand and opening up new stores, in the beginning I did because that was my key mission. But then I was asked to cut budgets, to close down stores, and to fire lots and lots of people. This was dramatic. In order to keep the people who were still in the business running and over-motivated and overexcited and overperforming, I needed to apply a different leadership style than, well, I had two choices. Let's put it that way. I had two choices. One was, okay, I am going to be super harsh. I do vertical leadership and request the most from them related to figures, goals, achievements. Yeah, pressuring them, literally. The second option I had was, okay, times are tough. The numbers are not there. But is that what is getting my people to biggest performance? And intuitively, I said to myself, no. And I decided to go to the field. So I did not stay in my office, but I decided to go where my people were. I needed to tie up with, I needed to relate to. And so I was 4 days out of 5 in a train, in a plane, in my car, driving to the stores, selling with them, showing that I'm helping them, being a model for them, listening to the clients who are also affected, of course, observing the competition and being in the field. So being as close as possible to the basis where everything was happening. And so this showed me the importance of relationship intelligence, which at that time I had not heard of. This was before I started doing all the research on relationship intelligence. And so I did it on an intuitive basis to see, does that work or not? And I saw that it worked because people told me, hey, we do this for you. We stay with the company for you. And we even sell longer in the day than you asked us to do so, because we want to get the numbers in, we want to get our products out, we want to satisfy our customers, and we want the business to fly. And when I saw that, I said to myself, yes, it's the human trip that works. And this is why years after, I had to step back of all of that and take a better understanding, actually, what happened at that time. What did I actually do as a general manager? And that's how I wanted to understand which are the key criteria of this kind of leadership model that I was using intuitively. And that's how I came up with relationship intelligence in business and those 5 key competences that I implied like every day when I was putting makeup on people or training people or evaluating people or paying people or just having a leadership meeting with them.
Such a great story. You can see how much people crave that. And we all do. I mean, as business owners, we want to feel that our teams really do care about our business. And it's unrealistic for us to expect that of them when we are not giving of ourselves.
No.
So, Michaela, how can our listeners connect with you?
I think the best, let's say, if you feel that your company, your business, or yourself could improve, could become more powerful, more performant by strengthening relationships within your teams, with your clients, with your leadership team, or business partners, then I invite you to reach out to me. Here, just on my screen, you see the name of my company. It's Merk Vision. And just below is the website. It's www.merkvision.com. My name is Michaela Merk. So on both ways, you would get to my website. I think that's probably the best way to reach out to me, because on that website, you can also, on the last page, send me a message, contact me. You also have my email address on that, or simply give me a ring. So everything is on that website. And I would be more than happy to help you out to build your business further, either through a training, through an individual coaching, or through a conference that I could also deliver to your company. If you have a company meeting and you pull everybody together, since I'm a public speaker, so most happy to do that. And whenever you contact me, then we would find out probably the best way to tie up and to work together in order to bring your business to the biggest level of success.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Michaela, for sharing your wisdom. A lot of really valuable takeaways for sure.
With pleasure, Alicia. And all who listened today, I wish you the biggest luck and the best luck for transforming people into brand ambassadors. We all need that right now. Simply stay healthy, stay successful, and look beyond that crisis to keep, this vision of a light that is beyond. Because notice, in every crisis, there are lots of opportunities. There's a lot of potential, and 60% of the biggest companies, the top 500 companies in the world, they've all been created and strengthened in crisis situations. So you have it in your hands. But You can only become powerful if you manage to relate all of your people to your business idea, your vision, and the products that are part of your company.
Powerful way to end this segment. So I have to thank you again, Michaela, and I have to thank all of our listeners. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you do so. You don't want to miss any of these episodes. And until next time, we will see you in the next episode.